it's Amanda from Agile Mind. I'm going to be bringing you some mindfulness and meditation tips to help you start to build the habit into your everyday. So for some of us, meditation might be something that we do every now and then, or only when we're feeling like particularly stressed or particularly good. But really it's something that we can be doing as part of every day. We don't need any special conditions to meditate. So there's 4 main things that I'll be covering today. Firstly, I'll be talking about the 4 steps to meditation because they're all the same, no matter if you're a monk in a cave or whether you're a normal person like the rest of us. I'm going to be talking about how to get out of our head and come back into the body. I'll give you a couple of breathing techniques that you can use when you're doing anything, driving the car, when you're at work, the supermarket. And I'll be finishing off with a really short grounding meditation that, again, you can use anytime. So to begin with, I want to just remind you that as a human being, our natural state is calm, open, present, relaxed. We hardly ever feel like that though, right? Like most of the time we're in our heads. We're thinking, planning, organising, worrying. And meditation is being able to cultivate that state of balance, to be able to come back to that sort of default state of calm whenever we want to, or whenever we've noticed that we've become stuck in our heads. What can also happen over time is that we're triggered and we become anxious about something, and then we stay there. So you can almost imagine like a line on a graph, and it goes up when you're triggered, but then you're just not able to come back. And so we're taking on more and more stimulus, and there's more and more cortisol going through our body, and it's sort of this vicious cycle of stress that our body's stuck in. So meditation is such a simple tool to be able to just notice it, recognize when we've become stuck, and then to be able to come back. So the quickest, simplest, easiest way to do that is to connect with any of your senses. So can you notice the contact of your feet with the ground beneath you, the pressure? Can you notice the weight of your body on your chair? Can you notice the temperature of the air on your skin? Perhaps noticing the clothes making contact with your skin. You might also be able to connect with the sounds around you, even the sound of your own breathing. Perhaps you can notice a taste in your mouth. So when we're connecting directly with that sense experience, just for that split second, we're not thinking. We're right in the moment. We're right with that experience of the sensation. So the more and more that we can do that throughout the day, the more and more we're spending time in that present moment. So everyone will have their favourite sense to connect with. For some people, the body feels like a really strong connection point and they can really easily feel their body. Some people really struggle to feel their body. So just playing around with whichever sense really connects for you. For some people, it might even be just the sensation of the breath coming in and out of your nose. It's just enough to be able to bring you back to the present moment. So when we're going to do a short guided meditation, there can also be an idea that meditation is about clearing all the thoughts out of our head and creating this white space of bliss. But it's not that. We can't clear thoughts out of our heads. The thoughts are always there. The mind is always thinking. And in meditation, we acknowledge this and we notice that the thoughts are coming and going. But just for that moment, we're not engaging with the thoughts. We're not acting on the thoughts. We're not responding to them. We're just noticing them. And that's quite a change because usually a thought comes in and we respond. So for this, we're just pressing the pause button and just letting them come and go. The very first step to any meditation or formal meditation is that we need to relax our body. For most of us, we're carrying tension in our body unconsciously. Often it's the shoulders that are a little bit raised, or we could be clenching our jaw, perhaps furrowing the brow, clenching our fists. We don't even really notice we're doing this. Perhaps the breath's a bit shallow. So the first step of a meditation is to just notice, where's my body? How am I holding my body in this moment? And are there some places that can soften and relax? And it can sometimes help to do this as you breathe out, so taking a deep breath in, breathing out and just noticing what needs to let go. And that's step number one. Step number two is that we then place our focus on one thing. And the one thing can be the breath. It can be a sensation in your body. It can be a sound, an image, an object. It doesn't matter what the thing is. And everybody tends to prefer one or other. So make sure you try different objects if one doesn't seem to be working for you. For the meditation that I'll take you through, we're going to be placing our focus on the breath, and also some sensations in the body as well. So step number one is to relax the body. Step number two is we're placing our focus on something, which is called the object. Step number three, the mind goes berserk. All these thoughts, become really evident. Why are you sitting there doing nothing? I've got all those emails to send. I need to book a physio appointment. I've got an itchy nose. I'm really hungry. I wonder what's for dinner, etc. So all these kind of thoughts start racing in randomly. And it can sometimes feel like the thoughts have actually become louder, but in reality, the thoughts are always there. But because we've made space and we've become still, that's what we're noticing. And the practice is to just allow them to be there. We're not engaging with them, we're just allowing them. And step number 4 is that we bring our focus back to the object. And then, of course, the thoughts race back in again. We let them go, and then we bring our focus back to the object again. And it's just this cycle over and over again that helps build that muscle, helps build our ability to be still and focused. It builds our capacity to be with ourselves and to notice what's going on without being distracted, without having to try and push anything away. So I'm going to just demonstrate that with a really short guided meditation, just a couple of minutes. So when you're ready, noticing your posture, and posture is pretty important. So it's nice to have yourself connected to the floor through your feet, or perhaps even sitting on the floor, whatever feels good for you. It's nice to have a straight spine and pointing your chin slightly down so that you can open through the back of your spine. And checking through your body, so noticing if your shoulders are relaxed, maybe your hands can soften. It's also helpful to be able to close your eyes so that you can bring your focus inward. And when you're ready, starting by taking some slow, deep breaths. And breathing right down into your belly. So you can place a hand on your belly if that feels helpful to notice the movement. A gentle rise and fall of your belly. And taking a moment just to check through the body, seeing if you can soften and relax over your eyelids, your forehead. And relaxing through your mouth and jaw. Letting your tongue relax. Letting the shoulders drop down. And just feeling your body in this absolute moment. How does it feel right now? Noticing where it feels calm, comfortable. Noticing where it might be tight. And then from here, starting to become aware of the sounds around you, connecting to your sense of sound. Noticing the sound of your breathing. Noticing the sounds in the room. Noticing sounds outside. And listening out as far as you can. And then from here, bringing awareness back to your breathing. Noticing the sensation of the breath at your nose. The coolness of the in-breath. The warmth of the out-breath. Noticing the rise and fall of your chest. Noticing that gentle expansion and contraction of your belly with each breath as well. And perhaps you can become aware of where the breath feels most prominent for you. At the nose or your chest, your belly. And if you notice that your mind has become distracted with other thoughts, it's totally okay, normal. And just for the moment, letting them go into the background and bringing your awareness back to the breath, back to all of those physical sensations of your body breathing. Almost like you're using the breath as an anchor that can just keep drawing you back over and over again. You may also like to connect with the sensations that you can feel in your body. Perhaps you can feel a tingling in your hands and fingers. Your toes. Just allowing your awareness to go to the sensations as they appear. And then from here, starting to bring awareness back to your physical body, the space that it's in. Starting to notice the contact of your feet with the floor and the contact of your body with the chair. Starting to consciously deepen your breath. And when you're ready, bringing some very gentle movement back to your body, maybe swaying from side to side, wiggling your toes and fingers, opening your eyes, having a stretch, and just taking a moment to notice how you're feeling. Perhaps you're feeling a bit tired, might be feeling grounded, calmer, more agitated, maybe heavier, just noticing what's there for you. So that was a super short guided meditation just to give you the basics, and really those meditations can be, as long as you like. So if you felt really happy to stay with that for much longer, then you can take that into your own practice. I'm going to move on now to more mindfulness techniques. So mindfulness is an active practice, so we don't need to be seated in a formal guided meditation to practice mindfulness. We can be practicing mindfulness anytime. And that's the beauty of it. It's portable, it's always available. And the definition of mindfulness is bringing your awareness to what's happening in the present moment without judgment. So just letting it be what it is. And that can be quite tricky for us humans because we generally have judgment about everything. We have an opinion about whether it is good or bad, or whether we want it to be other than it is. So it takes a little bit of practice, but a couple of these tools that I'm going to give you are just really simple tools that you can do over and over throughout the day. So the first one I'm going to teach you is called a 4-5-6 breath. It's a really great exercise for helping you go to sleep, or also just to bring you out of your head when you know that things are spinning around and you're a bit stuck. There are a lot of variations of this breathing exercise. It can be a 3-4-5 breath or a 7-8-9 breath. Pick your own numbers, but the main principle is that the exhalation is longer and slower than our inhalation. And that starts to calm our nervous system. It starts to send a message to the brain that we're safe, you don't need to be fight, flight, everything's okay, coming back into balance. So we're breathing in for the count of 4, holding for the count of 5, breathing out for the count of 6, having a pause, and then repeating. So I'm going to count you through that breathing for a couple of rounds, and if it doesn't line up with your breathing, just count in your own time. The counting can also give our mind something to focus on, so it's kind of working on 2 levels. So when you're ready, again, just checking your posture, consciously relaxing through the body, breathing all the way out, and then breathing in for the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and pause. In for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and pause. In for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and pause. In for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and pause. One more time. In for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just continuing to breathe. However feels good for you. You might like to continue with that longer exhalation. You might like to stay with the counting or letting that drop away. Noticing that little pause in between each breath, that space. And when you're ready, very gently again, starting to bring some movement to your body. So wiggling your toes and fingers, moving the shoulders, opening your eyes when you're ready. And again, just taking a moment to check in. So it's really important just to create a tiny moment of space after each exercise to notice the difference or the shift. And that difference can be very subtle, to the point where sometimes we feel like it's made no difference at all. But over time, and the more we start to check in with ourselves, we do notice that perhaps, I feel a little bit more grounded, I feel a bit more open, I feel a bit more present, I can notice more sensation in my body. So it's this practice that we're very, very gently building over time. Well, I hope you found that breathing exercise helpful. Again, it's something that you can do anywhere. No one really even needs to know that you're practicing the 4, 5, 6 breath, and it's fantastic to help you get to sleep. Another exercise that I find really helpful is a grounding practice. So again, there can be this tendency for us to all live in our heads 24/7, and there doesn't seem to be an off switch. So this practice helps us firstly check in to notice where our attention is, and then to be able to bring ourselves back. It's really nice to be able to do this with your eyes closed, but it's not essential. You can definitely be doing this at work or just when you're sitting in a chair, perhaps at the family dinner table or any other stressful situation. So we're taking a moment to check in with the body and seeing if you can bring your awareness to your feet and to the lower half of your body. It's really nice to do this standing up as well if you can. And can you start to shift your attention to the lower half of your body, seeing if you can bring weight to the lower half of your body? Seeing if you can feel the connection of your feet with the ground, and also perhaps a sense that they're sinking down into the ground, cemented. And you might need to just push gently on your feet to really cultivate that sense of the feet being connected. And from here, visualizing a line running from the very top of your head, or perhaps just above, through the center of your body, all the way down into the ground beneath you. And that might be a thin line, it could be a coloured line, it could be a cord or a rope. Just going with whatever shows up for you. And this line is running from the very top of our head through the centre of your body into the ground beneath you, and even following that line right down deep into the earth beneath you. So that line is tethering you to the ground, anchoring you to the ground. And taking a moment to really have a sense of being tethered and connected to the ground beneath you through this central line, and also through your feet. And spending a moment just breathing up and down that line. Can you make yourself heavier? Can you bring even more weight to your body? And so that exercise is called a body line with grounding. So this body line is something that can help us feel balanced. You can sort of rock your body at times to find that nice balance point, and using this line through the center of your body to really anchor yourself down and ground yourself. I want to finish with one final mindfulness exercise. Again, it's super simple. It's something that you can be doing anywhere, and it's simply about shifting from our thinking back to our sensing, back to what's actually happening in our body. So, when you're ready, relaxing your body, taking your breath all the way out, and as you breathe in, raising your shoulders up right under your ears and holding your breath. Keeping your breath held, pushing the shoulders back, releasing your breath, releasing the shoulders, letting them drop down. Doing this twice more, breathing in, raising the shoulders right up under your ears, holding the breath, pushing your shoulders all the way back, touching your shoulder blades together, releasing the breath and the shoulders. And taking a moment to do that a few more times. But instead of just doing that, going through the motions, really noticing what's happening there. Really noticing the clothes shifting on your skin. Whether that feels a bit bumpy or painful. Noticing the difference before and after each shoulder movement. Again, it's such a simple, easy to do exercise, but it's really powerful if you can do that 5, 6, 7 times a day, because each time you do that, you're coming back to the present moment and you're checking in with yourself to notice where you're at. Where's my head? Where's my body? And can I come back to center? I hope that's been helpful. That's a super fast version of a meditation and a couple of mindfulness tools that you can start to implement into your everyday. Thank you.